So guys, here we go. Sorry about my voice because like I said the previous days, I have a severe flu or something that I caught and I'm heavily medicated, but still the voice is one of the first things to go, right? But yeah, we are here with an update on the dev server, guys. And with this update, we have a major change that means that, it can be a small thing, that means that the update is basically ready, okay? And it means that the dev server will probably be ended tomorrow, indeed very early in the morning, and we will see the update very soon, which is the actual version of the update. So it just got to the 2.510.0.3, right? So it was before the 2.50.0.34, and now it's the 2.51, sorry. But anyway, guys, when that happens, when we start to have the odd number, basically, it means that we are gonna have the update, okay? It means that basically we are getting to the ready version of the update, and it's about to get the dev server closed, and then of course go to the live server, okay? So that's the first, kind of news that we have. That when we get to that odd number version, it means that we are pretty much ready, okay? So let's talk about the actual changes that we had today. The first one is the MB326K over here. He got another change on his flight mass. The major change here is that he has a severe increase in the actual empty mass. It is around 20% more heavy on the empty mass. It went from 3.08 tons to 3.6 tons, so almost 20%, which is pretty significant, guys. So the aircraft will feel a lot more heavy, especially when you use something like under the wing fuel tank like this. But yeah, it is pretty heavy, okay? So a lot worse. Another thing is that these drop tanks, they were not here, right? So they added 274 kilogram drop tanks, as you can see. So we didn't have them yet, and now you can use them, which is good. I mean, you're never gonna use them probably because it doesn't have an afterburner, but you get the point, right? Another change is, and this is probably the major change that I'm gonna talk about with you guys. It is for the F-16AM. So yeah, it got multiple changes done to it. The first one is that it got a new version of the radar, the APG-62V2. So this radar, it's basically just a copy-paste, okay? It doesn't change anything, apart from one thing, which is the addition of, apparently, a helmet-mounted display. So, and sensor fusion, right? So the sensor itself is going to be the same. So let's just check. Come on, detect. Yeah, please. So the NCTR is not, I don't think the NCTR is really working, but maybe for these targets. But as you're gonna see, yeah, there you go. See, we have a helmet mounted display. So this is very good. So they added a helmet mounted display for the F-16AM of the Swedish, of the Norwegians, right? Which is a very good change in my opinion. Really good change. So it is pretty interesting to see this radar. I mean, it is the same, like I said, but it will have the NCTR apparently. And also, I mean, it's not saying that it has the NCTR. So they say it's the sensor fusion got added. So I don't know if it's actually just NCTR or it's because of another thing. And what is that another thing? Well, guys, it actually got the PIDS, which is pretty interesting. So let's check it out. You have to buy the modification, of course, you have to get it as a mall. And yeah, as you can see over here, just like the French, Dutch one, Belgian one, you have to have certain pylons on here to be able to use it. So for example here, I mean, let me just show to you guys in here, for example. But yeah, you can just take the PIDS pylon, as you see, and it will have the malls and also extra countermeasures, because we actually have a change that it's a major change over here, which is that this vehicle now does not have 120 countermeasures. He only has the 30 normal one plus 15, that it's the large one, if I'm not mistaken. So with that in mind, you know, we would only have 45 countermeasures. And now with the PIDS, then you can have, you know, like a lot of them. So as you're going to see, you're going to be able to carry plus 180 of them, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see, even more, I think. Yeah, 180, but then you have the 30 normal ones and 15. So you can take like 2 to 5, I think. Which is a pretty good number, actually, right? So, yeah, very good. The problem is that it is a PID system. So, what that means is that you cannot take it with any air-to-air missiles, only with air-to-ground. So, as you can see, you can take with JDAMs, GBU-39s, you know, the GDAMs, ERs, the paveways, all sorts of JDAMs, as you see, non-guided stuff as well, napalm, you know, but no air-to-air missiles that can take it. So this is more of an air-to-ground capability than an air-to-air. Of course, you can take your missiles over here and just maybe take one of these pods or something for you to actually get a little bit more countermeasures and stuff, because 45 is going to be kind of sad, right, on this thing. So you do you, right? You can do some mix matching over here to see what would work, right? But overall, I mean, it's the same problem that you have in the Belgian one, right? So it's kind of sad, but at the same time, it is interesting to have an F-16A with the PIDS, right? So it's, I don't know, you tell me, right? And it does have the helmet-mounted sight. It does have some other features onto it, but it is kind of sad that you don't have it. But this is a real life, you know, limitation, if I'm not mistaken. So it's okay. But yeah, very cool. They also fixed the sniper pod for it because it was heavily bugged before, and now you can actually properly use it, as you see. Very cool. And then we have now another change over here to the Sea Eagles, okay? So the Sea Eagle now will have a limitation on its speed of drop. So as you're going to see, these are not it because it is the S2B, sorry. But yeah, the Sea Eagle now has a maximum drop speed of 0.9 Mach, okay? And a 30-kilometer lock range with the Seeker. If I'm not mistaken, before it was 15. I have to check, but basically now it is 30 kilometers and a Mach speed of 0.9 for the drop. Okay. Also, this will be like for everybody, right? So it will be for the for this Buccaneer, for the Hawks, for the Tornado. So everybody that uses the Sea Eagle now will be able to only use it at 0.9 Mach, okay? Which is kind of sad because it's kind of slow. But again, I mean, these missiles are more of a gimmick than anything else for now. And hopefully they add more objectives for you to use the, you know, the anti-ship missiles. But for now, it's just a gimmick. So it's kind of like, whatever, right? But it is still interesting that they are fixed. Another great change, guys, and I'm sorry again about my voice. If I'm not sounding too excited about anything, it's just because I'm really sick. But yeah, now we can take 4 HOSBO bombs with the Tornado SLE, the German one, which is pretty great, man. Look at this. I mean, you cannot take them under the wings yet as well, but they're still pretty good because they're guided, you know, glide bombs. So you can do some pretty interesting things. They can be very deadly because they have a very, very good range on their Seeker and everything, which means that, I mean, that was kind of optimistic there, but you get the point, right? But yeah, these bombs are pretty interesting because they have a pretty good range. They're glide bombs and they're PVIR guided, right? So they're pretty interesting to use. Of course, remember, if you want to use a pod to guide other stuff, you will lose one of these bombs, okay? So if you, for example, or maybe 2, let me check. But if you go here, let's see. HOSBO. Yeah, as you can see. No, it's a little bit bugged. As you see, you should not be able to take this. But yeah, if you want to take the pod, you're going to lose one of the HOSBOs, which is, you know, sad. But yeah, see, I mean, it gets removed. And then you lose the laser guided stuff. So it's like kind of sad, but at the same time, it's okay for the bomb itself because it is IR guided. So you do have a camera with it. But I mean, again, if you want to take more stuff that are guided over here, for example, a laser JDAM or something, you're gonna have to take the lightning tripod. So you kind of have 3 HOSBOs at the end of the day, right? Because why wouldn't you take 2 extra bombs over here, right? So hopefully they add the HOSBOs there, then you don't need to actually use the pod at all. Then you can take like 6 of these IR guided glide bombs that are pretty amazing. Another change that is pretty great is that they finally fixed the bug of the 9 4,000-pound bombs for the Mosquito. So now it is fixed. So as you can see, guys, many of the bugs are getting fixed. So it means that the update is ready. And like I said, we are in the 2.51 version, which means that the game is pretty much ready to be released. They added some other changes that are kind of sad. For example, for the BTR-82AT over here, it lost the target track, you know, the auto tracker and stuff for some reason. And then for the French EBRC Jaguar, they actually added a better thermal to it, right? So now it is with second gen thermal, and it does have a commander thermal and a driver thermal as well. So as you see over here, a better thermal, and of course we have one for the commander. So pretty good. All are second generation. And an interesting thing that they did with the HOSBO, guys, is that they completely changed the bomb. So I might test this in another video, but the mass is severely decreased from almost 500 kilograms to 300 kilograms. They also changed the maximum AOA, limits of the fins, which means that it will produce less drag overall, but it will pull less, right? They also added drag a little bit on the multiplier, but they also decreased the size, so I would assume that the drag is somewhat similar, okay? It's just that the multiplier is lower, but the size is lower. The multiplier is higher, but the size is lower, so it means probably the drag will be kind of the same. The explosive mass got decreased heavily. Like, it was 200 kilograms, now it is 87 explosive mass. Of course, TNT equivalent is still 120 almost, so it's okay, but still. The guidance duration got decreased to 500 seconds, but, I mean, 500 seconds is still like what, 9 minutes, almost, something like that. And also, they increased the range of these things. So now you can lock it up, the ground itself, for up to like 100 kilometers. So we're going to test that in another video, but it is pretty interesting to have something. Also, in the Sea Eagle over here, they actually changed it up a little bit of the way that it works. So the seeker activation was 15 kilometers. Now it is, forgot to bring it. Now it is 31 kilometers. Also, the sea skimming altitude got changed completely. So, for example, basically it will fly at 100, from 110 to 295 meters, depending on, no, sorry, from 110 seconds, it will fly at 295 meters from the ground. Then at 56 seconds, it would fly at 30 meters. And then at 20 seconds, it would fly now at 1.5 meters from the ground. So it is going to be flying very, very low to the ground. Before, it was flying way before at these situations, but you get the point, right? So let's try to use the missile just for you to see. So the thing will go very low, very fast, especially if it is close to the target. It means that it's gonna be very hard to intercept these missiles once they start to add Seaweeds and more modern navies. It will be very hard to intercept this type of missile, especially with missiles itself, Look at this. So it's flying like at 1.5 meters from the ground, which is like really low, really low. I mean, it's lower than me. It's lower than a person, right? So it's pretty low. Also, the YJ81 also got updated kind of heavily. So, yeah, now it is a little bit heavier, 610 kilograms. The mass, like after the booster is burned, it is 355. Before it was 380. Also, they changed, and this is where I think it's the most important thing. They increased it by almost a third the amount of booster force. They decreased by a tiny margin the booster burn time. And with that, I would assume that it will be a little bit of a better, faster missile, right? The explosive mass, though, got slightly decreased. These missiles are very weak, to be honest, right now. So I don't know. Let's wait to see what happens. But they feel very weak, right? Too little, like explosive. Like it feels like that a little bit. I mean, look at this missile. It's supposed to be 300 kilograms according to the internet. Might be wrong, but still, it is. It feels like very low for a 1,000 kilogram missile, right? And then the last thing, guys, literally the last thing, is that we have new profile pictures. So for helicopter pilots, which is pretty interesting. Let's see if I can find it here. I don't know if there are here. Maybe no. If they're not, I'm gonna show on the data mines. But unless I'm being very, very dumb over here, I don't think it is. So here we have it. So basically, it's a modern US, or modern heli, profile picture. So for the US, for example, for the Germans, for the USSR, for the Russians, for the UK, for the Japanese, then for China, then for France, no, for Italy, sorry, then for France, then for Swedish, and then for the Israelis. So they added some of these profile pics, okay? And basically this is it, very small changes. So the patch is pretty much ready. There are probably some bugs here and there, but in a general sense, it probably is just minor things. And yeah, the patch feels very ready. So yeah, we're gonna see probably dev really end up just being closed tomorrow, and probably the update coming next week. But we're gonna talk about that tomorrow, okay? So see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. Sorry about my voice again and my random thoughts over here and rambling because I'm really sick. But yeah, see you guys on the next one, and bye guys. See ya.